Hello, hello, salut. I am the Rasta Witch. Here's where we learn the way of the Yansui Rasta, which is to say, my kind of Ital. Please subscribe and begin your own kind of Yansui witchcraft. All roads lead to Rome. Home. Okay, so now we are on the Justice card. I think of the song, everyone is crying out for peace. Yeah. None is crying out for justice. But I don't want no peace. I want equal rights and justice. So that, in case you don't know, is Peter Tosh. He sums up best the bigger picture of this card. So far, in the Fool's Journey, we have seen much on peace and oneness, but even if all the countries came together under the UN, practicing what's preached with international law, we would not have real peace without justice. No real equal rights. No real balance. The Thoth deck calls this card, whose Roman numeral is 11, but in this deck it's 13. I don't know why. The Thoth deck kind of lives in its own world sometimes. I'm sure it's all something from the occult. But it's instead of calling it the Justice card, it's called Adjustment. The word adjustment comes from the French word justice, J-U-S-T-E-S-S-E. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, meaning equilibrium. And the astrological signature of this card is Libra, whose symbol are the scales. This card is about balance through justice, the duality of nature and the nature of duality, cause and effect, as above, so below. The Egyptians had very subtle ideas about morality and the effects of behavior. Sin, basically. They believed that the seat of human conscience lay in the heart. The heart contained all the deeds, actions, and intentions of a lifetime. Upon death, the soul had to face the judgment hall and stand answerable for a life. In the judgment hall, the heart was weighed against the feather of truth. That belonged to Maat, M-A-A-T, the goddess of truth and right order. One might think of Karma, or the Old Bailey in London, the figure of justice that stands above the Old Bailey law courts, holds the scales. She is blindfolded to show her impartiality, and in her other hand is a sword. Karma is more unseen through the unfolding events in life. The way you behave affects your existence even after death. So it's a little different. In many ways, this card is just what's needed in the world today. Accountability. Many people think if you are snobbishly approved by a group, their group, then you can't go wrong, which is the backbone of racism, sexism, and the belief that one religion is one size fits all. Usually it's the one their group was born into, the people in the group. I think of Trump saying he could shoot someone with a gun and get away with it, or when he said he loves to encourage hatred towards transgender people because his MAGA fans cheer and vote for him. But there are many examples of the fruits of apathy during the narcissist epidemic, including crimes against the earth, animals, apartheid, and dreams of eradicating another group you hate. Justice reminds us of what happened to Mussolini. His own people killed him and left him hanging in the streets after they spit on him and kicked him. But justice is good for a good person. Those people aren't good people. We might think of the shepherd's staff in the hand of the good shepherd. He keeps the herd together and safe. So it's a good thing for the sheep. The corresponding Hebrew character for this card is Lamed. Lamed is an ox goad, which is a staff used the same way as the shepherd's staff, a cattle prod like we would call it today. The word Lamed actually means the heart that understands wisdom. Originally, it might have meant to prick, sting, incite, or goad. Either way, it's the sword in the hand of the figure on the Old Bailey Law Building. The feather of truth of Mot. Let's look at the Sephiroth Dex card. So here we see a figure of justice. In one hand is the ox goad. See the Lamed symbol in the hand? And then right next to it is the ox, docile at his feet, because of the benefits of the ox goad. Justice is good even for the person. If you're a good person, you want justice even with yourself. Of course, the corresponding zodiac is Libra, who's the air sign of Venus. So you can see Venus in the hand, and whose planet is Jupiter. And there's the sword. Remember, Libra's an air sign. Now let's look closer at the Thoth Dex card. We see a figure wearing the headdress of Isis, which has the ostrich feather of Mot. Around her are the bubbles of Maya, illusion, showing the transitory quality of human justice. Of course, she's got the sword, and then on the scales there's Alpha and Omega for the beginning and the end of the life. Here we can see the Lord of the Rings tarot. It says, the oath breakers of Dun Harrow represent the atonement of past mistakes. Remember them on Return of the King? The good guy army with Gandalf and everybody, they realize that they're outnumbered, and so Aragorn goes. They're like, how are we going to win? We're outnumbered. Aragorn goes to the Oathbreakers of Dun Harrow. They're a bunch of ghosts, remember? And he acquires them to help fight the battle. And if they win, their oaths will be fulfilled, and they'll no longer be Oathbreakers. And then they'll be free, because the oath was fulfilled. Sometimes human justice isn't so just. Like with the Memphis Three, their lives were ruined, being put on death row for wearing Metallica shirts and reading books about witchcraft. In a modern world, we need such an organization as the UN to ensure, with international law and world citizenship and rule of international morality, that justice is just, holistic, bigger picture. Let's look at the chart. The justice pathway is right here. It connects number 6, the self, with number 5, Jabura, the masculine side of the archetypal polarity below the abyss. Jabura means strength. It connects the self with strength, strength of the archetype. You know, like without this type of empathy and without these type of principles, then it makes a mockery of the masculine side of the archetypal polarity. You know, the masculine energy which seeks to enforce justice. But, you know, justice isn't good if it's not just, you know. Again, we think of the ox goad in the hand of the figure here, and the ox being docile at its feet. The heart that understands wisdom, accountability, just justice through balance and the bigger picture of unity and diversity. The justice card will support you when you need to see the justice of a situation, to discipline yourself or maybe your children. If you need to meditate on the honor of rightful justice in the bigger picture. The oath breakers of Dun Hollow, remember? Ecocentric, not egocentric. If you need to meditate on or show justice to yourself or someone else. Remember what happened to Mussolini. There are forces of justice beyond human justice. Mott.